What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Sistas Season 2, Episode 12. Okay, let's go ahead and get through this, okay? So, the episode starts off with Maurice talking to Sabrina, wanting to know what happened. Is he dead? And Sabrina was like, oh yeah, he died, and the police are coming and looking for you. And, of course, Maurice was like, what are you talking about? It was self-defense. He beat me up. He did see that. And she was like, oh, well, you left me here. You stranded me out here, so they on their way. They are on their way. And, she was like, well, I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean? And so then someone's knocking at the door, and she's like, you better answer the door, Maurice. That's the police. They coming to get you. You better, they just want to talk to you. Of course, when he opens the door, it's Sabrina. And Sabrina was like, yes, he's fine. He passed out because he was high. The ambulance came and sent him home in a cab. That's bullshit. He was beat up. He was bloody. He should have had some sort of bruises. Even if he was high, they still would have sent him to the, unless he refused treatment, they still would have treated him and tried to send him to the hospital, but whatever, child. Okay, we're going to go along with that storyline. Okay. Then, my thing is, I would have never spoke to Maurice ass again. You left me stranded in the damn parking lot with a man who whooped my ass into a coma. Yeah, he laying on the ground right now, but when he wake up, he going to be mad as hell. And you just left me here by myself? Yeah, that would have been the end of our friendship. I promise you. That would have been the end of our friendship. Then, like I said, we're gonna knock this out. Sabrina ends up staying at his house. They go through this whole back and forth of him saying, you ain't sleeping here, you going home, and her saying, no, I'm staying here. She ends up sleeping in his bed. The next morning, he wakes her up like, girl, we gotta get to work, let's go. You need to get home so you can change clothes and get to work on time. Who comes knocking at the door? Calvin, because he moving in. Calvin and Sabrina see each other. Sabrina leaves, and him and Maurice have a conversation, and Maurice lets him know, listen, she love you, you love her, y'all need to figure this shit out, because I'm sick of being on the roller coaster. We all are. We all are. We are all over the Calvin Sabrina roller coaster. Back over to Andy's house. Yes, y'all told me that they spoiled it in the previews, which of course they did. That was stupid. You left us hanging. You left us thinking, oh my God, what happened to Andy? Oh my goodness, is Andy dead? Is she alive? Did he leave her laying on the floor unconscious? Like, we should have never known in the previews that she was okay. But whatever, ain't my business, ain't my show. Of course, Karen and Preacher Man get there, and Andy is okay. She's defending him. She's acting real lethargic, like she don't know what's going on, and she's so woozy or whatever. But after this long drawn out scene of Karen dragging it out of her, she finally tells Karen what happened, and Karen lets her know that it's abuse. Just because he ain't whooping your ass all across his apartment don't mean it ain't abuse. It's abuse. However you slice it, it's abuse. And we're going to go and we're going to file charges. No, we not. Yes, we are. No, we not. I'm going to give him his money and I'm going to be done with it. You're going to do what? I'm going to give him his money and I'm going to be done with it. Well, you're not going by yourself. I'm going with you to the bank. Okay, that's cool. Okay, that's cool. And Karen says she's going to stay there that night with Andy. Like I said, it was a lot of long, drawn out conversation. I'm giving y'all the nuts and cracks because I can't. I don't have a lot. I ain't got a lot to give with this show. I don't. Okay. Then we see Preacher Man meet up with Gary. He's at the hospital because he didn't been into a car wreck. He's at the hospital, and the police arrest him on drunk driving charges. And I'm assuming drunk driving charges because, I don't know what else. But he talking about something, can you just get my wallet and make bail? Can you bail me out? I'll pay you back. Here's what I don't understand. How the fuck you got bail? Aren't you already on bail for murder charges? For embezzlement and all them other charges? Did they drop the charges against Gary, or is he just out on bail? Because if he's out on bail and he literally was in a drunk drive, a DUI the next day, ain't no bail. What bail he making? And ain't no magistrate open in the middle of the night, bro. You wait until the next morning. Ain't no magistrate letting you out that night. He was at the bank bright and early the next morning. I said, what the fuck? Kind of. Anyway, so Preacher Man says, yes, I'll bail you out. And, so anyway. So then, we got Danny and Preston. They happy. They cool. Danny ain't really giving him too much of a hard time. But she wants to go to his job and meet his people. And he's hesitant, and of course he don't want to do it. Well, we know he don't want to do it. He didn't already told you his whole family is prejudiced except for him and his sister. So no, he ain't in no rush to take you down. He worked for you. Again, we know he worked for the family business. So of course he's not in no rush to take you down to the family business and meet the family that ain't gonna like you. Y'all just got over the whole, Kunta Kinte situation, okay? No, he's not excited to do that. And when that happens, who come knocking at the door? Zach needing a shower, needing, whatever. Of course, Danny gives him a hard time, but she lets him take a shower, and he lets her know that he's doing good. He's picked up a side hustle, and things are looking up for him. And can she just be happy for him? Because she's really his only, friend that he really has, Does he call Fatima? I feel like at some point in this episode, he called Fatima. She had an attitude, but he was trying to let her know, just trust him, everything is going to be cool. But she wasn't happy about being, played to the left or whatever. The next morning we have Andy and Karen again having a whole conversation about Andy going to get this money. Karen going with her to the bank. Andy was like, no, you don't need to go. Karen was like, girl, stop playing. You know I'm going. And, yeah, so there's that. Listen, y'all, I'm trying. I'm really trying. I really am. Karen gets to the bank first. Sabrina, or does Karen get to the bank with Andy? I don't know. No, Gary and Preacher Man get to the bank first. And, of course, Sabrina is looking at him like, what you doing here? So then Karen gets there, pulls Sabrina aside, and lets Sabrina know what went down. And Sabrina, of course, she pissed off because she was like, y'all don't never tell us nothing. You don't never tell us nothing. So then she calls Danny. Danny on her way to work. Well, can you stop by the bank on your way? Because Andy is in trouble. And once again, they not telling us. So, of course, Danny shows up. So now all the women are at the bank. The new guy, he was late for work. He came in there with a rose. He flirting with Sabrina. But whatever, child. That's just not important. And all the women are basically there to confront Gary. Gary got an attitude with Andy, talking about some give me my money. And they was like, oh, bro, who you think you talking to? Who you think you talking to? And, he was like, well, I'm going in the back with Andy to get my money. And Sabrina was like, no, you're not. I'm going to take Andy in the back. She going to bring your money out, and you going to be good with that. You ain't going nowhere with her by yourself. That is a guarantee. So they end up going in the back. They get the money. Danny, all four ladies are there. And of course, Danny being Danny was like, we ain't giving him back nothing. Like, this for your pain and suffering. Because by now, all the ladies know the whole story. And she was like, well, this is for your pain and suffering. Like, we ain't giving nothing back. And they were like, Danny, stop playing, stop playing. She was like, I'm not playing. Like, until I hear her utter the words, I'm giving Gary this money and I'm walking away and that's it. It's over. Until you say it. And of course, it takes her a minute and her lips is trembling and she doing that, that cry thing and all that. But she says it. She finally says that she's walking away from Gary and that's over. That is over. So then they take the money back out and Gary says, I know y'all think I ain't shit. And all the ladies was like, pretty much. And he said, but, please know that I really do love you, Andy. And this, and this, and this, and that. I really do love you, Andy. Andy. And then, of course, he leaves with the money. And she breaks down crying. And she says that this is what she gets for messing with a married man. Whatever. The other thing that went down is Alonzo came through the bank. Now he's scared. Now his lawyer done told him. Now, mind you, he showed up at the bank. He ain't got a bruise, a black eye, busted lip, nothing. What's the face whooped his ass the night before, but he don't have a scratch on him. But he's in the bank begging Maurice to drop the charges because now he's worried about what his lawyer told him about a hate crime and how he could go to jail. And he begging, talking about something, I'm so sorry, can you please drop the charges? And Maurice was like, hell nah. Ain't nobody dropping the charges. Like, you beat me into a coma. And now you ain't even down here because you sorry. You down here because you scared. You scared that you gonna go to jail, so that's why you're down here. It ain't got nothing to do with being wrong or feeling bad because of what you did to me. Boy, bye. And I'm really glad that it didn't work on Maurice, and Maurice didn't do that old, well, you know, no, Maurice was like, hell no, you going to jail as fast as I can get your ass there. The new guy at the bank knows Alonzo. He says he just know him because, you know, from hanging out around, because everybody knows Alonzo. But I'm giving the new guy a side eye right now. I'm giving the new guy a side eye until I figure out how he really does know Alonzo and to what extent he knows Alonzo. Okay. That is pretty much the episode, y'all. That's all I got. I don't really think I got no more for y'all. Let me double check and make sure. But I really think that's it. That's how it went down. How many episodes is left? I'm just asking for a friend. That friend is me. I'm asking for me. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments. Peace.